Я батько.
Я молодший брат.
Я водій маршрутки.
Я скоро одружуся. Я фанат шахтера. Начальник отдела продаж.
Я прораб.
Я программист.
Я свидетель на свадьбе.
Дядя Юра. Таксист. Я вчитель фізкультури.
Я студент-геолог.
У мене своя фірма.
Я кращий друг зі школи.
Я сусід, який завжди стукає по батареї.
Я єдиний син.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. I'm very happy that despite everything that just dropped, let's just be honest, it didn't really drop on my head, but it was about time I deal with this, which is taxes. I had to deal with taxes today and it took a while. But I was able to deal with at least half of it. I still have tomorrow to do it. And today I have the time to dedicate for stream. I want to start by saying huge thanks to everyone watching right now and everyone that is going to be joining later. I want to say great thanks to the moderating team, because moderating team is what keeps this channel going. Moderating team is the people that keep our comment sections under videos and in our today's chat clean from trolls, and we're able to communicate civilly without needing to pay too much attention to pro-Russian shills. They're a great asset to this channel, and please extend my thanks from all of you as well. Add a little bit of a hand in chat. Thank you so much to the moderating team. We start again after a little bit of a time off. I had a couple of really busy weeks, and the coming weeks are going to be unfortunately busy for me as well. For anyone that has ever worked in a corporate environment knows exactly why it is. It is because everyone has weekends and vacations around Christmas. So everyone thinks that they are number one priority. So everyone wants everything completed before that, which just means that a lot of work is just requested to be completed as fast as possible. While I can do priorities, it doesn't take away that there's just a lot of work. So thank you so much for everyone that is sticking with me and forgiving me for not being able to dedicate as much time to you all as I would wish. With that said, I'm really glad to start, and I start with really amazing news. Let me find some kind of picture, I guess, to illustrate these news. But the news are great. The name of today's stream are drones, and I wanted to talk about what's the future for drones, what's the future for general environment for development of drones. But the first big news about drones that we need to start off with is obviously, I think most of you can really guess it, it's the fact that our drones have arrived. Yay! Thank you so much for everyone that contributed to this fundraiser. We did a fundraiser with the Cardinal Birds. The guys are very hard at work by writing a track to Ukraine, Ukraine Matters channel. So there will be a channel for Ukraine Matters. And secondly, we did a fundraiser for the 110th brigade that is defending Avdiivka right now, where Russians are attacking the main line of Russian attack. The defenders of Avdiivka has been, I believe it's yesterday or even 2 days ago, that the drones that we ordered made it to them. It in total ended up being 7 normal Mavic 3 drones, and then we also got the Mavic 3T drones with the thermal vision drones. Some people suggested that we should not buy Mavic. Guys, there is a reason. Let's put it this way. There are many different types of drones all around, and there is very specific reasons why it is specifically Mavic drones that are the ones that are being demanded by Ukrainians and general military staff. It's a standardized, by this point is a standardized armament. So therefore, while there might be some other drones that are cheaper that we could have bought. The fact that the units already know these drones, they have been flying these drones, they have people that train to fly these drones, they already are well suited to get right into the operations. So I'm really happy that we're gonna get 2 thermal vision drones and 7 other drones right in the hands of the 110th brigade that is defending Avdiivka. So hopefully we're gonna get some special footage right from that. But obviously my thanks extends to you all. Yes, Secular Sekai. Yes, Secular Sekai. I also noted that you were doing. I either believe you wrote me somewhere, either on Discord or mail. I saw the message. I just didn't respond to it, Secular Sekai. So please be aware that I do read messages. It's just with responses, it's really crazy. It's unfortunately I'm complaining and complaining because of I'm having a life and a job. But remember, guys, while it does reflect on you not receiving enough videos from my channel, on the other hand, this is what allows this channel to run independently on how many whatever views there are. I'm not dependent, my livelihood is not dependent on the YouTube channel, so I can dedicate a lot more profits of this channel specifically to Ukraine. But again, this is something that I do independently from you all, and it's just really good that I have a day job. Let's begin. How are you doing, guys? Tell me how are you doing while I set it up here. We have a Q&A session in chat. There is like a blue, should be like a blue window which says write questions here. You can write your questions there. I will write there at some point. I will talk a little bit more about drones that struck Ukraine. And we're generally going to talk a little bit about the situation. And most importantly, I think one of the major things that we need to talk about is how you feel. Because right now we are having a little bit of a very tough lull. The one that we were having right before Ukrainian offensive, right? We were having when Russia was attacking. And now we're feeling that we're in the same position, and I also start receiving about the same messages and the same requests that I was receiving right before Ukrainian offensive, when people were thinking, oh, Ukraine is already out of strength, Russia is pushing everywhere, Ukraine is barely resisting. And while I was trying to explain a lot that it's all fine, it's just a period and we just need to get over it, right now we're back at it again, so I need to get back to it. So I just need to reiterate again and again certain things that, while completely easily and self-understanding for me, but it's just always nice to hear it from someone. And for your friends and people that you know around you, I also think that it would be very helpful to reiterate many of these things that people are worried about, because most of these worries are completely unfounded. All right, let's say just me, or sorry, it's not just me, it's just me. Just me, welcome to Brother in Arms, thank you so much. Niels Knudsen, thank you so much for 4 months. Yvonne, thank you so much for being a member for 7 months. OCT, a member for 7 months as well. OCT, amazing supporter of the channel. Thank you, Ellie, John Newman, Raven7. So thank you so much to the moderating team from OCT. Secular Sekai, hey Georgie, did you get my email? Yeah, I just talked to you. yes. I get your email, and I'm sorry I didn't answer it. It's a little bit hectic. Kevin Materi, thank you so much for $10 from Canada with love to Ukraine. Canada is my scope. I want to go to Canada at some point. We'll see when I can do it. Thank you so much for Canada. Captain Copenhagen, hi Captain. God aften fra København. Oh my god, I haven't spoken Danish so long. God aften fra København. Slava Ukraini. Drikke øl. Håber på sinne eller sætte i morgen. God arbejde. Tak. Yes, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be really good. Actually, I was a little bit afraid I'm gonna be a little bit too drunk. We get a couple of beers with my wife today, so I'm not sure if you know these beers, Captain Copenhagen. If you ever get a chance to try these, the Odense Classic, I really recommend. Dmitry, sending love from Bulgaria. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here until the end of the war. I'm maybe not the biggest channel there that is supporting Ukraine. Definitely what I do is not for everyone. Not everyone likes me. It doesn't matter for me. While there's like 1-2 people that's going to be watching this channel, it's going to be everything that I need. I'm going to continue doing this channel until the victory of Ukraine, until the war is over by the victory of Ukraine. So we're gonna continue. Nothing is gonna stand in my way. I'm fully dedicated to supporting Ukraine until the end. And actually beyond, like, because I do have certain fund that I'm slowly accumulating thanks to YouTube to then do the investment. But that's a little bit of a longer story. I was hoping that the summer campaign would bring us closer to the end of the war. Unfortunately, it's still a little bit of ways off. Yes, 117,000 subs. Yes, it's crazy. It's absolutely amazing. Like number of subscribers. My bet is that I feel very separated about 117,000 subscribers. On one hand, it's really nice that I have a YouTube channel, huge YouTube channel, supposedly big success, especially for a nobody like myself, person from Baltics, barely speaking English that is coherently understandable by native speakers, and I've gotten this far, which is amazing. But my problem is that this is the topic that this channel is running on. And that's the only kind of sour thing that I'm having. But on the other hand, my saving grace of still being proud of these 117,000 is that there's 117,000 people that do think that Ukraine matters. It's that 117,000 people that do support Ukraine. The recent donations, the recent campaign that we did with drones is just absolutely underlying it that we are on the right track and what we're doing actually matters. We are not just saying it words. We're not just here just to talk and do a blah blah. We also do certain activities that benefit the warriors of Ukraine, and we are helping advance the victory of Ukraine just that little bit closer, which is really, really nice. All right. Yeah. Okay, Google, YouTube again obscured my first couple of questions. That's just what YouTube do. But Two New Yorkers is asking, what's up with GLSDB? Everything helps. So there has been rumors by the Russians that Ukraine has used GLSDB. Ukraine has also received recently, or will receive, it was recently announced, if you remember, by I believe it was Austin that came to the not Minister of Defense, Secretary of Defense of US, that came to Ukraine, and one of the items of the package was one HIMARS launcher system that is to be delivered to Ukraine, which is a very awkward number. Why would it be just one? You know, there's a lot of like question marks. And then there was additional kind of rumor about it saying that it will be a HIMARS system that will be containing certain surprise. In my perspective, a certain surprise would mean that probably GLSDB finally will make it to Ukraine, because to be honest, there is not a lot of other surprises that we're expecting with the HIMARS system. ATACMS are already not groundbreaking. Now the question is, when are more gonna arrive, and when are longer range ATACMS are gonna arrive. However, if it's GLSDB, then it's gonna be, well, a pleasant surprise. Some people were worried, saying, Georgie, but what about supplies to Ukraine from US? Because right now US is in a deadlock with regards to budgeting, so Ukraine is not getting anything. Ukraine is receiving help from US in two ways. One is the PDA, Presidential Drawdown Authority. This is support to Ukraine when, by the orders of President Biden, the weapons and equipment is directly taken from the US Army stocks, and then these stocks, the money that is in the budget, the money is then invested to replenish those stocks for the US Armory. That is the Presidential Drawdown Authority. Second type of help from US that the US is doing is so-called Ukraine Assistance. It's a weird name, Ukraine Manufacturing something. Sorry, I cannot remember at the top of my head. People in chat will help you out, so they will pull it up. But then the second part is actually US during the times that it was helping Ukraine has taken that money and put orders for the US weapons manufacturers. So weapons and ammunition and everything else is to be produced by the manufacturers and then delivered fresh off the production line to Ukraine. A GLSDB is a good example of it. So it first needed to be produced to then starting to be delivered to Ukraine. What I want to know, what we need to remember is that it was a lot of, like, for a year and a half, there was a lot of this second type of US aid. Yeah, it's called, yes, exactly. It's called US aid. It was more specific, there was a lot of these orders placed. So while there is not a lot of direct help that is ongoing right now, there is a lot of orders that have been placed for Ukraine a year and a half prior that are just now making their way to Ukraine. So while we're not seeing it, right as we're talking about it, Ukraine is still receiving help from US producers specifically. What we're talking about right now when we're talking about help from Ukraine in a coming future is either can we get the Presidential Drawdown Authority support from Ukraine? And second one, can we get even more of these longer-term production contracts going? So we need to always remember that while there is problems in the Congress, it does not mean that help from US has stopped. Please remember that. And if I said that I need to kind of reiterate many things to the audience that you can talk to your friends about and remind them that it's not all doom and gloom, this is one of the arguments. A lot of people say, hey, US is not supplying help to Ukraine. Wrong. That's just factually wrong. And you can easily take that and put it in someone's face. Yes. Let's go. Are you aware that the West Virginia University are blue and gold? I don't know how that's relevant, but good for West Virginia University, I guess. You got to know about the state level politics and the way that that fiat functions and how set it up to be able to absorb it, and who is entering through diversity of things like healthcare insurance. Otuku Koker, I don't know what you refer to. This doesn't sound like a question. Ali, Georgis, can you please tell them what today День памяти жертв Holodomor is for? Yes, so today in Ukraine, I'm hoping that you've been to some other streams, because today is a lot of really good streamers from Ukraine that are streaming. So today in Ukraine is a day of remembrance of the victims of the Holodomor, or how a lot of US how do you say, commentators said Holodomor, which always cracks me up. I know it's absolutely awful topic, but it still cracks me up. That's how I cope. Like I cope by humor, so sue me. But Holodomor is an awful tragedy. It's a man-made, specifically Russian-made famine in Ukraine, where Ukrainians needed to be put to order. It was a punishment from Stalin to make sure that Ukraine complies with what he wants. And it was awful. It was many people died because of that. Like, it was incredible because of the famine. It's a very dark time in the history of Ukraine. It's a time of some of the most awful stories. I told you a lot that the history of Ukraine is a book where every single next page is just starts, and then it got worse. And Holodomor definitely falls right in there. It's an awful tragedy. It's finally being recognized as genocide more and more as we speak, because Ukraine has finally entered the world perception stage. And I'm really happy to see that we are now understanding the significance of it. And I'm really hoping that this will not go away, and that we continue remembering that this like Holodomor, while not directly linked to the modern Russia, it still follows the same pattern of Russian influence on the neighboring countries. This is how Russians see it. They want to punish the ones that are resisting their visions. Like, it's either us or you dead. That's how they think. And they still think exactly like that. A lot of Russians that go to war right now, they want to go and kill Ukrainians just because they don't want to allow some shitty-ass third-world country, Ukraine, and to be better than great Russia, despite the fact that they're living in shit, the fact that they're living in worst conditions ever in the world, rivaled only by the North Korea. Sorry. I got a little bit carried away with my yelling today. All right. That's the day of remembrance of Holodomor. Tech on Tech. Honest questions. Before the war, there were Ukrainian feelings about reconciliation. I'm an American with Russian parents, with Polish Ukrainian relatives, understand the feelings now are no way. Tech on Tech. Right now, feelings are no way, but you cannot take it for granted. A greatest example right now is Georgia, because in Georgia, there is right now a ruling party that is openly suggesting to essentially join Russia. And that party has been elected democratically. There is still significant resistance in society in Georgia, but I'm saying that there is an open party. I want you to look at it not in a political context, but more of a personal, cultural context. What we need to understand is perceptions change. Old wounds heal, whether we want it or not. The wound inflicted by Russians is unacceptable, absolutely terrible. It's in current state, it's no way. Because right now, both Russian society inside Russia and Russian society outside Russia is not demonstrating solidarity with Ukrainians pretty much at all. I can count on the fingers of my hands the number of public Russians that I know of that are not just against Putin, but also supporting Ukraine. There are very, very few of them, and most of them are not very popular inside of the Russian, even opposition parties. Majority of Russians do not look at Ukraine favorably. They say that Putin is not good for Russia, but they are not saying that, oh, we still need to support Ukraine, we still need to make sure that Ukraine wins because Ukraine is a target and is a target of aggression by our own country and our own people. They don't feel remorse. If in the future the Russian society will reflect on this, and majority of Russian society will reflect on this, like it happened with Imperial Japan, like it happened with Germany. I know the circumstances, it's not about this right now, but I'm just speaking in general. And in general, if there will be this reconciliation, then there is a path for the even the deepest of wounds to heal. There is a path for this. It is possible, but not at the current situation. So it's kind of like no way, but with an asterisk. Because in truth, let's be very honest. Let's be very honest. And I'm pretty sure majority of Ukrainians would kind of reluctantly agree with me that while we do want that Russia to do fuck off and Russians do kill themselves as much as possible, and maybe it would be better if there would be no Russia, but second probably best option, if Russia would be a normal country, a predictable country, a country that wants to more look into how to fix itself before it starts going around and fixing the world or fixing their neighbors. Majority within Ukraine even reluctantly, would accept certain, like, maybe. It wouldn't be easy, but it would be acceptable. So it is possible. There is a way for Russia, but not right now. How's Ukrainian frontline morale? Putin Huilo, morale is working. We always need to remember what this war, and interacting both with military personnel and also with civilian personnel, especially people in the civil cities and so on, we are a lot more susceptible to shifting on the frontline news. We are a lot more susceptible to variations in the swings of the mood. Most of frontline fighters, they are approaching this as a job. For them, there is just one option. You do your job daily. You wake up, do their job, you wake up next morning and do your job again. It's a hard work, but they're doing it. And when they're shifting priorities, it doesn't change the fact that they still need to do their job every day. Maybe they will feel certain day better, certain day worse. Whereas people here in the back, people that are behind the front lines, people that are far away, the further away you are, I notice that it feels that people are just a lot more sensitive to any kind of fluctuations of any kind of other things that people on the front lines don't even find that relevant at all. For example, Russians are attacking Avdiivka. A lot of people at the front line says, well, it's a hard work. It's really tough, really bad, but we need to do it. Whereas people in the back is like, holy shit, Russia attacking again. What to do? Panic, panic, panic. So situation at the front line, we already passed the glorious high morale boosting, yelling, charging at your enemy frame. We are now in this long-term slowing, grinding war where people at the front lines are, as I said, they're just doing the things that they're doing every day. For them, it's just what's happening. So in front lines, the morale is not like people waking up, well, should I cheer for Ukraine 3 times? They're not doing that. Fuck that shit. They're just doing their job and they're doing fine. What they would want us to do is for us to bicker and ask questions less, and maybe help them on the front lines more. Send in more drones, preferably. That's what they want. Other than that, that's how their moral is. All right. Victor767. I feel sorry about the outcome of the elections in the Netherlands, but it's good that the winning party needs the other to form a majority. Yes, I think there's a lot of caveat here with regards to the Netherlands. Netherlands has a very, very specific situation. To be honest, Rutte, he has not been the most popular politician for a very long time in the Netherlands, and it's actually surprising that he's been in charge for so long. But there needed to be some kind of outcome, and to be honest, I was expecting that this is going to be the outcome. But again, they do need a coalition, so even if they get partners, their partners will still try to sway in, I hope, for Ukraine. But we will see about this. Right now, it's unfortunate, but already by this point, Netherlands have done really a lot. It's just a pity because Netherlands were expected to be a really, really strong ally of Ukraine. It would be very, very unfortunate if a pro-Russian shill would come to rule that land for the coming foreseeable future. Doug Vegan Paradise Butler, what do you make of Dutch Putler's asset Hertwelders winning the Dutch elections? Not much. He's against immigration while Russia tries to shove hordes of them over EU borders. Hypocrite or what? I mean, no, like, we need to understand that the anti-immigration narrative is not because of what Russia is doing. What Russia is doing is barely noticeable in Europe, at least in my perspective. The most noticeable is the pro-Hamas rallies that we had in many cities. That's worrisome. Like, we need to understand the anti-immigration narrative is the anti-terrorism narrative. It's the narrative of saying, oh, it's all these Muslims that come to kill us. So they are appealing to the safety of Europeans. Europeans need to be safe, and that's what Geert Wilders is appealing to. That's why they're popular, and it's a no narrative. Like, a lot of the European right-wingers appeal to that. I mean, American right-wingers as well, no? Wasn't like you one of your narratives from your right-wingers in US is like, we're gonna not let people from Mexico to come in to US. So is it much different? Mercado would like to join the stream. Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't have anything set up, though, for him to join, but if he finds a way, write me in Discord. Write me in Discord if there is a way how to join the stream, then we'll join the stream. But I just don't have a setup, because for me, usually to do a double stream, I need to run a different software. All right. What is happening with the nuclear power plant that was running out of cooling water? It didn't run out of cooling water. That's why I said don't worry about it, and I was right. DMC. Morocco, Georgie, do you think NATO should send amphibious landing gear to Ukraine to cross the river into Kherson? Okay, let me be very clear, and I want to answer pretty much every question about should we send this to Ukraine. The answer is yes, always yes. More shit is better than less shit. The more ammunition, equipment, capabilities Ukraine has, the better it is. It sounds ludicrous, doesn't matter. Send it to Ukraine. The only question is priorities. Like, if there is an option to send something, send it to Ukraine. But if there is an option, should we send more artillery and artillery shells, or maybe these hovercraft? Maybe artillery shells are a little bit more priority. But answering all of the questions of any kind of should we send X to Ukraine? The answer is yes. 99% of the times the answer is yes. You don't need to ask me. Just don't ask me. It's always yes. Send everything. Yes. More shit. More stuff. Ukraine needs more stuff. I in my latest video I talked about this specifically. I talked about the fact that Russia just has a lot of stuff. Their stuff is pretty bad, pretty awful. The problem is that Ukraine has significantly less of it, less of stuff to counter it. So if Ukraine would have 1,000 Bradleys, it would be completely different from having 80 Bradleys. Georgie, do you think NATO should send a... Okay. Maximus M, Ukraine will win, no doubts. Their build history is BS. Okay, build. I first and foremost, I said that I was bitching way too much about the media, and I'm just hoping that all the times that I was bitching, I was able to convey a certain message. I will probably reiterate it in a month or so, but whenever you see some Western media saying something, look at two things. Firstly, Google who's the author. Like, Google at least the headlines of the articles that author wrote before. That's going to tell you a lot. Second thing is check if they're citing anonymous sources. If there's anonymous sources, okay, let's put it this way, because some people might misunderstand. It's okay to have anonymous sources in your article to supplement certain things that was done. Like if there is a significant research, if there was certain work, there is certain paper trail, photo trail, video trail, anything like that. If there is certain hard facts on the table that are supported by certain, intercepted communications, something like that. And then some supposed high-level anonymous sources confirm and add additional context to it, it's great. That's a great use of anonymous sources. If your whole article for 90% consists of Wikipedia citing about certain people, who they are, and like just stating general public knowledge things, and then the last kind of like your hit like to the target part of your article, the key point of your articles is only provided by anonymous sources, it is shit. It's absolute garbage. It's not an article. It's speculation to the best. And it's not even speculation. Because when we're talking speculations, it was saying that the person X says something, like a hearsay. Like, for example, court. If a person just claims something, it's just hearsay. And in this case, it's not even hearsay, because we are seeing a journalist that has certain history about him is just saying that he is knowing a guy that is saying something. He can tell you who it was, but you should just definitely just believe what he's saying because he's some X high ranking. And the problem of anonymous sources is that they don't put anything on the line. They can say whatever the fuck they want. In a nutshell, check these two things: how are anonymous sources, how are they used, and who the author is and what he has written before. And 90% of the articles that are complete dog shit will just completely disappear from your radar. So it's not worth even discussing this build article. It's follows exactly in the same category. It's like no more media discussion. Not today. Maybe in a month. Not everyone likes you. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? I hope it's great. I'm really much love from Lisa and Jack. Yeah. Oh, I'm happy to hear that Jack is doing better. Really good. Not everyone likes you. They're morons. We here love you. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Kelendan, any insights into Ukrainian electronic warfare development? I read on Euromaidan that Russian electronic warfare nullifies about 2,000 Ukrainian drones per week, so Ukraine needs counter-battery electronic warfare systems as well. Correct. Euromaidan press, not the best trusted sources, not the best trusted source. They are hit and miss. Sometimes they're very good. Sometimes it's just complete speculation that is just presented as facts. Sometimes they're just having certain small pieces of information and they're extrapolating some weird big stories that supposedly should change the whole perspective of the warfare. So you need to be careful with the Euromaidan press. But generally speaking, Russian electronic warfare is quite potent, mostly because they understood how to counter GPS. Like that's the biggest weak point right now in Ukrainian smart weaponry. Majority of Ukrainian smart weaponry is based on the army GPS from like United States and everything. That has been cracked. It's a bad technology by this point. So either there needs to be certain modernization, certain patch, certain encodings. There are options, right? It's a problem. But it's right now influencing the smart shells, such as Excalibur, the Gimler's missiles. By the way, GLSDB would also be influenced by Russian electronic warfare. And that's the biggest Russian achievement. So these basic drones that are following the GPS navigation, if the main source of navigation of the weapon is GPS, that's why the weapon will be effective against them. That's why, for example, FPV drones right now are super useful, because a lot of FPV drones, they don't really use GPS. There is other electronic warfare that can counter them, because the connection with the operator is conducted through, I actually don't even know how it's conducted. Don't quote me on that. It's ask the technology people. But the point is that they are not susceptible to this large scale, large area GPS blockers. That's why it's very, very careful. That's why it's really more of a question of how Ukraine will adapt to this and maybe allies. I can guarantee you that everyone is working on it. because I already saw certain, like you ask a question about what's about Ukrainian developments. I already saw certain new developments of Ukrainians. There was a video just recently where a Ukrainian defender was walking around with a handheld about the size of a fist, like just a little bit bigger, electronic warfare device that you probably just need to point somewhere. So there are developments in this area. It's just a question of can they be scaled? And I'm hoping that they can. If you want to run a business, start an electronic warfare business. Good for everyone. Hi, Georgies. Did you hear about the report that says Russia is no longer capable of winning a war if they go after the Baltic states? Okay, Carmen, Russia would never be able to win a war if they would go against Baltic states because NATO is too powerful. The only question for Baltic states was the resolve of NATO. And now resolve of NATO has been strengthened significantly. Even if we can doubt in Germany and France, NATO allies such as Finland, Sweden, Denmark. Denmark is small, but we have air fleet and navy. So there are forces in and around the Baltic states that can help resist the Russian aggression. So yes, whatever report it was, it's more of a just stating the obvious fact. Right now, NATO has been refurbishing, and I'm really glad. I'm going to take a second and just read some super chats, and then Brenda, thank you so much for 279 Canadian. I appreciate it. Secular Sakai, all good, mate. 100% understand, appreciate that you do. I get how crazy busy things can get. Yeah, sorry, it's just like it's my problem. Unfortunately, I have a good career. Unfortunately, and many people are dependent on me, and I'm very happy for it because I like my job. I like what I do, but it's a lot of responsibility that I just need to go forward with. Marco, thank you so much for 50 euros. OCT, thank you so much for gifted membership. I appreciate it. Janice, welcome to the Brother in Arms. Welcome. Yvonne, thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. eBag M, member for 9 months. Thank you so much for being a member for 9 months. I'd like to buy 1 pin sticker and flag. Yes. Okay. So with regards to one pin sticker and flag. So for a longer time, we were trying to do shop. And I never got people going. I think what I'm just gonna do, I'm just gonna release the stock shop that we're having, guys, because I know a lot of you really wanted to get certain like stuff with Ukrainian symbols and Ukraine matters and stuff. And then maybe I will find people that can help me design this shit and stuff like that, okay? So I will just show it here. We have a stock shop. Yay. So you will be able to get yourself like a flag and certain other products and so on, like Ukrainian Matters flag and so on. I just need to add like some pins and whatever you're asking. So I'll probably release this hopefully next week, and you will be able to get certain things. And obviously the same things apply for the shop as for the channel. I will donate a lot of profits from the shop to Ukrainian Armed Forces in the same way as with the channel, if that's something that you're interested in. But it's still a business, so all of the taxes are applied, and just technically, it's still going to be considered my profits, because I don't want to get in all of this charity BS problematic. It's too much hassle for me. I don't have the time to deal with this. I rather just pay my taxes, make it profits, and send it to Ukraine. It's just easier. Can we get a Coop Girl on a shirt? Yeah, potentially we can. Though I'm not sure, because she's an actual person. But maybe I can figure out something. Maybe I can just draw it or something. We'll see. We'll see. I have some arts. Like, for example, I will see if I can show you. Like, there is I played a little bit with AI art generated, and I was thinking of maybe putting some of that AI art on certain things. I don't know. I'll show you. So something like this. I know it's not for everyone, but maybe someone will like it. So Okay, Merc is writing something. Let's see, Merc. We could just do audio. I saw you stream title, and if you wanted a personal perspective of last night drone attack, I can talk about it for a few minutes. Should we get Merc on stream? Let's get Merc on stream. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Looks cool. Yep, perfect. Good. So maybe I'm going to do some AI art because, I mean, you see me trying to draw. It's not very good. All right, let's go. More questions before Merc answers. With the artillery munitions North Korea is providing Russia in exchange for spy satellite aid, do you foresee a large increase in trade and weapons packages from South Korea to Ukraine? South Korea has helped Ukraine a lot by this point. I feel that the biggest help South Korea can get for Ukraine, and this is pure speculation, I have very little things to support it. The main kind of things that support my notion is that I know for a fact that South Korean weapons producers have been working with the Polish weapons manufacturers, and they have been very open to share technological, like the production secrets to produce their tanks, to produce their artillery. And Poland, because it wants to re-weaponize, they were able to get into agreements with the South Korean weapons producers to open factories to produce these South Korean-based weapons in Europe, because South Korean weapons manufacturers wants to enter and start fighting in European markets. What I might think might happen is that there was certain conferences with regards to manufacturing of weapons in Ukraine, and I feel that South Korean manufacturers were very interested in this. I believe that South Korean manufacturers may become very, very relevant and very dominant in a sense that they will bring in the manufacturing capabilities to Ukraine. But again, this is pure speculation. You can argue with this, but I just feel that this might be the way. Yeah, South Korea sent hundreds of thousands, 155 artillery shells to US. Yes, exactly. So South Korea, like, it's not really South Korea. It's a difficult system, because it was technically US shells that were like a sort of a lease to South Korea, and then they were supposed to be there for South Korean use. But then US says we're going to draw from these stocks, and then South Korea says yes, but then you cannot use it. It's difficult. But South Korea has been definitely more on the friendly side with Ukraine. Okay, Merc is saying that he wants to do it. I'm going to call Merc. I'm going to put headphones on. I hope it's okay with you guys. And we're going to talk. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Good question. Does my headphones actually work? 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mark, I cannot hear you, Mark. Okay. That is bad. Why I cannot hear you? Is it because my Discord settings are off? It's probably because my Discord settings are off. Output.
Does chat hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Chat?
You do hear me.
I can hear you, Merc. Now we just need to confirm with chat that they can hear you, and then so there is no echo, there is no doubling of voices or anything like this, and so on. Do you want to
plus in the chat if we're good? Yeah, radio check plus in the chat if everything sounds good.
Yeah, right. The double plus, the plus, as Brandon would say.
Yeah, Brandon's got us in for a treat tomorrow.
Yeah, I've heard. Like he actually, to be honest, like he He told me about this when he was going to Ukraine a couple of months ago. He showed me and said that he's taking it with him. So I actually knew that he has it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really feel like we should like Zoom call you or Discord you tomorrow, and then you could be a part of this experience. What do you think?
No, I'm gonna pass on it. I'm gonna
Oh,
skip. I'm gonna when you come over, you will tell me the stories about Georgie. There was this time when we eat shit and it wasn't nice, and you missed on it, and I will be like, yeah, I totally missed out on it. Like, true.
there's many things that we're willing to do for Ukraine, and Brandon's forcing us to do this one as well.
Hope so. Just remember to start any kind of fundraiser right now. Guys, for example, for 110th, really require some drones they can use. Ukraine matters. Can you speak closer to the big microphone? Sounds low. Do I sound low?
Sound good to me.
I don't know.
You sound great to me.
Have you tried switching it on and off? Let me show you how microphone works, by the way. Yes, okay. A mandatory microphone joke is inserted. I actually need to... Do I have a funny picture of you?
Of me.
Yeah, because
I sure exists.
I need some kind of Andy Mercado lawsuit. No, that's not what I'm searching for.
In Mercado trial.
Yeah.
Copyright trial.
Copyright trial.
Try that one. Yeah. They say I'm a little louder than you, I think.
Yeah. Okay, it gives me videos. It gives me some bearded guys. It gives me you, but I guess it's a Facebook page. I don't have Facebook. Oh, X. There we go. There we go. The shitter. The shitter.
The zitter. Zitter with the Z. Zitter shitter.
I like shitter. It sounds very accurate to what it's supposed to be. All right, I'm just gonna put your picture, unless you want to start a video or something. But
yeah, we can. I mean, yeah, if you want to do video, it's fine. We can do audio too. We're under air raid right now here, Kyiv.
Oh, you have what is it called? Putin's lullaby.
Yeah, it's going off tonight. We had a big one last night. Tell you what.
Yeah, you said you want to talk about it. Chat people in chat said yes. Talk about this. So talk about it. Like what? Yes. How did you like it? Which one was your favorite?
So had to be like for last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think it was like the 2:30 a.m. wake up. Like that was my favorite. No. The 74 out of 75 drones were intercepted. It was like 6 hours of air raid. Yeah. Air defense was working. It went great. The Ukrainian defenders are excellent at it now. Like 98%. Yeah, that's picturing me. Like 98% success rate. So they're very good at it, but it's still like you can hear it in the sky. The sky lights up. The drone sounds, you can hear them. It sounds like a lawnmower in the air. It's pretty intense.
This is not your first trip to Ukraine, right? Like how many times have you been there already?
Yeah, this is my third trip now.
Third trip?
Yeah, 3 times. Wow. Yeah, I've celebrated my 30th birthday, Thanksgiving.
Holy shit! And you're just 30. Fuck me, you're young.
Yeah, bro. 30. Yeah, I feel old though. I served in the military, so you got to add 10 years at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So then I plan to celebrate Christmas here next month because we had an epic fail and our truck like broke down mid convoy.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah. So I have to go back to Estonia and make sure that thing gets here. So.
I'll try to like illustrate it. Like you probably have it on your shitter, right?
Yeah, it's on shitter.
Yeah. Let me find a video so I can demonstrate
media
it.
Tab.
Oh right, media tab. Yes. It's one of the things that Musk hasn't cut out yet.
Yeah.
This is already Ukraine. This is Borodyanka. This is convoy. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There we go. I'm not gonna put the sound on so you can easily talk over, but people will see the video of the truck having a little bit of a I don't know, like a like looking like my
Having a struggle.
granddad, looking like my granddad. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a safety meeting before. Oh, that's cool. I can see your screen too.
Perfect. So how do you like Ukraine in general?
It is. Oh man, it just I feel so alive here. Like the people are just so welcoming with everything, even the ones that like don't speak English very well. I mean, most people speak English here, but I mean, I speak just like the hello, good day, like goodbye, like yes, please, like those simple words. But even the ones that don't speak English, like they're patient and like they'll speak with their hands and they're very nice and like hospitable, I'd say. Clean. Whole cities, I mean, they keep it nice and clean. City workers are on it at all times, even during Russian missile attacks and drone attacks. They're still up in the morning early, bright, out working hard. It's just kind of a place where you feel alive, and you appreciate what life is all about.
Yeah. By the way, people in chat, once the war is over, go to Ukraine. It's pretty cool.
It is. Oh my goodness, there's still places where I want to go, like the Carpathian Mountains.
Oh, that's a nice place. They have a couple of pretty cool things there to do. Like we've been there with my wife for like a week or so, staying in a place. We thought it would be cool because there was like a local brewery and it was like a small village, and that's like kind of famous brewery. They're quite known. It's called Tsipa. And they, unfortunately, there is nothing else in that village. So we booked like a house to stay there for 1 week, and there was nothing to do. So there was only brewery and nothing else. That was something. But the mountains were great. Like it's just my wife and I, like, we're a little bit of fatsos. We're not really like a big walkers. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a big walker, and then I arrive to Washington D.C. and just walk the whole city, and then people are like, what are you doing? Like, why are you being such a weirdo? And but yeah, we didn't really walk along, like hike along the mountains a lot, and we mostly just stayed in the pub for the whole 7 days we spent in the mountains. What a day it was! A day.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a bad alternative though to be in a pub in the mountains. Like if I want to be in a pub, I'd rather be in one of the mountains, not like one in the city.
Fun fact, like for people that here for like support of Ukrainian manufacturing, we had a topic just right now talking about the manufacturing. I've heard that potentially production will be closer to the Carpathian Mountains because they can use mountains as a cover or some shit like that. I don't know how accurate it is, but I don't know. Have you heard about something about this? Like about already talking with people on the ground? What's with weapons manufacturers, electronic warfare and stuff against drones, or is it just the weapons for now?
Yeah, Ukraine's developing their own drones and their own capabilities. Like there's like this cool one too that was sent to me. If you want to look it up, it's called, give me 1 second. Skynex. Skynex. They have one. SKYNEX. I know it sounds like Skynet, but this thing can like shoot drones out of the sky. And obviously Ukraine's developing their own FPV drones that are like super cost effective, like $700 drones, which are obviously cheaper than the Mavics. Plus the Mavics are like Chinese developed. So it's just really, they're trying to develop while the West is sitting on our hands and not sending Ukraine everything that they need.
What is it what Ukrainians need? You talk with Ukrainians every day. I'm pretty sure you asked the question, what do they need? Because I can tell about it like every day, but I'm a guy sitting in Denmark.
Yeah. So obviously the 4x4 trucks are something that they really, really do need. So, I mean, you've done how many of those NAFO trucks too?
Like 5.
You've done many.
Like 5? I don't know.
Yeah. So crucial. Those are crucial. Drones, crucial. Medical supplies, the proper tourniquets, like cat tourniquets, and just keep a steady supply of that. Artillery. They need artillery. Russia has more right now currently. That's just what it is. So if Ukraine had like even just equal amount or something. You know what I mean? They could have more effectiveness on the battlefield. Long range missiles, ATACMS, the ones that have unitary warheads. Because right now Ukraine has the cluster munition ones, and the cluster munition ones have a shorter range. So if we can get Ukraine the unitary ones that go further, that is going to help them even more so. So more ATACMS, Patriot missile systems or Patriot defense systems in Kharkiv and Odessa. Like those are two locations that desperately need it. Like Kharkiv, I was there in September. It's terrifying there. It's like there isn't a Patriot there. It gets pitched like they do blackout still after 11, and it's just air raid alarms all day. So, and then Odessa, because that's where the grain is, and Russia's going to be targeting the grain this winter because that's one of their methods of warfare, because they want to affect the food and the grain. So, and then I don't know if I mentioned demining equipment, but just to keep it up with that, because that's what's slowing down the counteroffensive in the south, is just the layers of mines that Ukrainian soldiers have to get through. Like it's not just like they can run through the field and like take the position. They have like layers and layers of mines that they have to navigate while they're also under artillery fire at the same time. So the Ukrainian soldier is a better soldier. They just need more supplies to be able to allow for the infantry to advance. So like those supplies being artillery and long range missiles to take out the Russian howitzer systems.
Nice. By the way, are you okay with answering some of the questions that people are asking me here in the chat and something?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So Paul Stift answers, the new drone factory in Russia will produce 1,000 drones per month. In 10 days, they can make it very uncomfortable with a wave of 100 drones. Can Ukraine handle such a wave?
Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
like what was it,
Yeah, I mean,
75 drones?
Yeah, that's exactly They just did 75 last night. So
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's more capacity. Obviously, some of them will go through. But what I know, and this is not something you should probably disclose, is that a lot of Ukrainian physical stations, they have built physical reinforcements, such as like concrete covers for electric buildings, like just huge hills of dirt around the power stations and so on. But Ukraine is prepared. Obviously, the electric network is not as strong as it was last winter, but it's also better prepared.
it's also a Patriot too as well.
Yeah, exactly. There was no Patriot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is a game changer here in Kyiv, I tell you what.
Yeah. Robert H. asks, just visited a concert with an old stupid man choir who sang a Russian song. Didn't clap and left. What should I do?
Read a bad review on Yelp.
Yes. I mean, like, it's just saying like, man, like I just met people that are really big dumbasses. Like the best answer is support Ukraine, because we cannot change. Like it's very hard to, almost impossible to change mind of a pro-Russian, because it's now so deeply ingrained, because Russia has committed every single crime, war crime, like every single awful thing. There's nothing that can convince more people by this point. We are more of in a semi-downward slope about this. Ukraine needs significant victories, so then people that just want to support the victor, they will join Ukraine. But people that don't want to support Russia because Russia is bad already know that. People who still support Russia are, like, at least in my perspective, you can challenge me on this, Andrew.
No,
but
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, in my perspective, that these people are gone. So the best option is, instead of trying to focus on these people and what they do, focus on what you're doing. Focus on supporting Ukraine more. Like helping a little bit more to Ukrainians is more productive, because the armed forces of Ukraine is the best negotiating force with the Russian armed forces and Putin. They are the best diplomatic mission we can send to deal with Russians.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're 100% right. And when you talk to regular Ukrainians, they say the exact same thing. Like, there's no point in even, if you're going to believe Russian narratives at this point, you're going to believe Russian narratives and shit. Like, people are going to be a botnik or a peacenik. Like, there's no helping those people, or whatever. So, and even Ukrainians understand this, but Ukrainians have been saying this for years now. Like they've been giving up on trying to change the hearts and minds of Russians or Botniks or people that believe that propaganda. Like they've completely given up on it. So,
yeah. Here's a question you can answer, by the way. I'm going to butcher the name, but the name is VTH Okia for Life. Why do you think the US plays with lives? Question mark. You know as well as I do, the US could send the equipment needed to end this war in no time. They choose to wait and then send stuff anyway. So many deaths, though.
yeah, it's sickening. I mean, I've been like, yeah, why are we not sending everything that we have, or sending, our stocks and like old equipment, like hand me down stuff. Like units will send the worst. Like if, like say Ukraine needs 2 howitzer systems from the U.S. Like they'll pick a unit, and then the unit will send their 2 worst weapon systems that they have, because they know that the DoD will replace those 2 weapon systems, and then they'll get new ones, but Ukraine gets the old ones. So it's just political games, I feel like, and it's not working out for Biden like at all right now. It's 2024 is a big deciding year in the U.S. and we have a presidential election coming up. So Biden's sitting on his hands, and plus I don't know if you touch on the other you did a little earlier, but you talk about the other conflict as much as I do, which is like barely. But he's going to run into some trouble with that one too, it seems. So he needs to do more here. I feel if he's going to try to win the 2024 election, he really needs to show like, hey, we're going to aid Ukraine. We're going to send every Ukraine what they need, because the little trickle down weapon systems that we're sending to Ukraine is just not working.
That's Nikki Haley's argument, isn't it? I think she's the only one that's talking about it. I don't really think that even on the Democratic side there is a lot of people that are really talking about it.
Yeah, no, it's getting sad, and unfortunately, and Nikki Haley, like right now, she doesn't have a shot in hell for taking the Republican nominee. It's going to be Trump. So, and he has a magical 24-hour plan. So,
I mean, that's how you win people. Like, this is actually great for you people in chat, right? Majority of people don't really look at any arguments, and especially not at the logical context, right? No one is really analyzing. Most of my viewers, I know for sure, are a lot more analytical and smarter about a lot of things. And I told you this once, and I'm going to tell it again. The thing is why we are I wouldn't say losing, but why it always feels for us that we are on a back foot with a lot of us pro-Ukrainian agenda, with a lot of our general understanding of the war, that we feel that certain narratives are always kind of running the show and we're just trying to quell the fires. This is because we are not spreading them fast enough. We always try to apply certain critical thinking in how we are looking at Ukraine, how we are supporting Ukraine. So a person can just comment and say some dumb shit that has nothing to do with reality, such as, for example, I can solve Ukraine conflict in 24 hours. It's a completely impossible thing, but it's just being sent, and then there's plenty of dumbasses that never kind of try to think about this and just spread it out. Whenever we're saying, hey, Ukraine is having a peace plan, there is always going to be 100% people on our own community that are going to be deeply analyzing that stuff and asking questions. Is this the right thing to do in the right moment? Is Ukrainian plan in their offensive actually good? Should there be like a commander in Ukraine that can run? Can Ukraine do serve? It's like, these questions are relevant. Why are we all asking these questions to ourselves? An idiot on a shitter or anywhere else on the news will just continue spreading the same message over and over again, and the majority of these people just spread shit. And what happens is, because we're living in an information age, the social media especially and the news cycle algorithms just pick it up, says it's a hot topic, You need to talk about this. And at that moment, we're already not having agenda that is dominated by our right messages, such as Ukraine has a proper way to solve the current situation, which was Zaluzhny's article actually about. And instead, people are spreading, oh, Zaluzhny is proposing, that it's a stalemate. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that there is a way of evading this stalemate. That's what his article is about. Or how Ukraine is saying, oh, we actually have a peace plan that right now a lot of people are discussing, but it's never being discussed. And that is important for us. We need to continue sharing the information. We need to continue following Ukrainian channels. And while it's important for us internally to be critical of our information, we also need to continue keeping the message flowing just itself. It's an unfortunate thing where we exactly ended up, but that is what we need to do if we want Ukraine to be perceived in a more positive narrative. Because otherwise, there's going to be 1,000 dumbasses that's just going to spread Zelensky is a Nazi with a Photoshop mustache. That's the unfortunate truth.
Major facts, and it's an entirely like a Vatnik type propaganda strategy, right? Fill the space with nonsense, with garbage, with just the 10 different stories for any one event that'll take place, right? And then people just be like, oh, well, that story can't be true, but we got 9 others, right? That's like the Russian strategy. Like the Russians will say, oh, if that story isn't true, well, we have 9 more type shit. So yeah, it's especially like you said in this day and age with this information war that we're in. Misinformation, disinformation, people will wield that as a tool to push the nonsense narratives.
All right, next question. There's a question about EU. I will talk about the EU just a little bit. I don't want to bore you with the EU perspectives. I already talked about the German tabloid. And again, like what I said just right now is specifically also talking about media, because what media is doing, for them, a click is a money. It's like, remember I told you I'm not running my channel, I'm not depending on my channel because I'm running my channel as a side gig because I have a primary job. That is not what's happening with my Rain Media. They are fully dependent on being in the news cycle. So when they're seeing that there is a 1,000 dumbasses that are spreading specific narrative, they will want to plug into that narrative. And that's what the media is doing. That's what a lot, specifically if we're talking about this German Bild, it's a tabloid. It's like the narrative. It's like taking any rumors and then magnifying it 10 times just to make sure that it's on the headlines. The more you talk about it, the more you are promoting the narrative and the message that is specifically either manufactured by Western media that just want to get clicks and has nothing to do with reality, but then it gets into our community and we start overanalyzing it. Don't don't.
I was told that Bild is basically equivalent to like the U.S. National Enquirer. Is that true?
I don't know.
In terms of it's like,
I mean, I don't know National Enquirer, so I don't know what to compare.
It is completely like if you pick it up at the grocery store and it has like a person abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
Texas.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, then throw it away. Like it is garbage. Me and Starsky brushed over that one and we're like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah, it's a complete. It's like a princess, or like Olaf Scholz got pregnant from a third wife or something like this.
Bro.
It's like that's the article that would appear in Bild, and it wouldn't surprise. Like I know they're focusing on politics, but that's the level of the article. And it's like out there. It's like it's not all the way, but like it can vary. They have very low quality checks. It's very, very weird. Scott Parker is asking, do you know what a hookie is? Do you know what a hookie is?
I don't. How is it spelled? Hokie?
Hokie, yeah. Hookie.
Yeah, like Virginia Tech, like the Hokies. I think it's a bird or something.
Hookie. So it's a bird. Okay.
I think, or like it's their mascot. I think it represents something, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's stick it. I don't know what a hookie is. It's like I'm guessing here, but I don't know. Gen Consensus asking, Russia says that they want negotiations, but Ukraine must recognize all its annexation of Ukrainian territory as a requirement for talks. This is demand for surrender before negotiation even begins. Russia doesn't want negotiations. Russia wants, capitulation. They want Ukraine to capitulate. The West to capitulate for Ukraine, saying, "Oh, we'll stop supporting Ukraine with anything." Ukraine is completely like that's one of the messages, because all of the Ukrainian spokesperson, I know they're not very popular for some reason in the Western media, but I follow a lot of Ukrainian spokespeople, and they often always emphasize that Russia is always talking nonsense. And the fact that we're still discussing that, it's crazy. Especially this is accurate whenever people ask me to comment what Putin says. And I always say, for me, it always sounds like Putin is making fart sounds whenever he opens his mouth. But I don't know what people try to explain me that he's actually making coherent statements. I don't know.
It's insane. If you want to go further too, or chat, presidential elections coming up for the United States next year. If you want to understand what the Russians want, just listen to Vivek Ramaswamy. Just listen to him, and he'll tell you what the Russians want. Okay.
Logic Lust kind of summarized it the best. It's like, you want to talk, get the fuck out of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Call me bastard. Hi, Georgie. My family is Severodonetsk. Not much left of it. Yeah, sorry, bro. Is that direction viable for a small counteroffensive during winter while Russia is busy in Kherson and Zaporizhia? I have things to say about this, but you go again. You go first, Andrew.
What's the question one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, so the city of Severodonetsk, which is like north of Bakhmut, like a little bit, like there is like a little bit of a salient. It's around like from Liman and that like towards Bilohorivka. Like, remember where that crossing, that awful crossing that Russia tried to do over the river and then it got decimated. Right. It's like close by their place. And so Severodonetsk, the guy has asked, does this seem like a potential direction for offensive while Russia is preoccupied with other directions for Ukrainian offensive?
I'm not seeing that right now. At least me personally. I feel like Ukraine's moves in Kherson could be interesting, and maybe divert Russian forces away from where Ukrainian forces are trying to advance in Zaporizhia, which specifically like south of Orychkiv, because they're trying to advance towards Tokmak. So I feel like the Ukrainian moves in Kherson are like the move, but I don't think they're going to try another offensive in any direction this winter other than to see where they can get in the south. But what do you think, Georgie?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zaluzhny said it the best in his article. He said that, like, why would anyone attack? Right now, there is a very like low chances of attacking force to advance without spending a lot of resources around it. So the only advancements that are possible is the advancements by, special tactics like smart play. So something that's happening right now around Kherson, where Ukraine is just utilizing the fact that their artillery is located across the river on a high ground, and they're just able to pummel a lot of Russians, and Russia is not prioritizing that direction. That kind of attacks are possible, but large-scale offensive through the prepared enemy positions, I don't think Ukraine will start it until they get any kind of air support, until F-16s arrive. I don't see it happening until Zaluzhny will see on his table something, as he said, that we need to find some kind of gunpowder that will ignite new capabilities for Ukraine. And I personally believe that the air superiority, at least local one, can be that gunpowder for Ukraine. So I don't expect until next spring that Ukraine will do any kind of major offensives.
Right.
All right.
We just hope Ukraine's defenses can get bolstered for this winter to keep the grain safe and the energy infrastructure protected.
Lil Bobs, what is the best way to convince normal people that Ukraine will win? I understand why progress is slow, but most people just see the headlines that say Ukraine war is a stalemate. This question was asked long ago. But Lil Bobs, we discussed all of this already during our talks, right? Specifically, we talked about the messages, the perception, the people that support Russia. It's all there, right? If people just support Russia, that like they don't want to see any kind of reality. They just want to deny reality. They just want to close their eyes and live in their own world where, I don't know, there's magical butterflies and ponies and whatnot. All the people that really understand the situation, they know what is up. And the good news is that the normal people, they follow the flow. So it's important right now to put pressure that on our politicians, specifically to make sure that politicians at least keep up with their promises to support Ukraine as much as possible. And if politicians will promise and Ukraine will get that gunpowder that Zaluzhny is looking for, then they will start, for example, winning again. They will regain certain territories. At that moment, the narrative will change, and then certain normies will suddenly like, oh, Ukraine is winning. Well, go Ukraine. I will support it now again.
Yeah, it's literally as simple as that. Normans.
Question for you, actually, Andrew. It's interesting because you are getting your news somewhere, right? So Putin Khoilo is asking, what are the top 3 reputable native native Ukrainian news sources online? And I guess it's very important for you because they're getting them in English. So I would consider that.
Yeah, Kyiv Independent, Kyiv Post does great, and then John Sweeney, actually, I'd recommend him as like the other source because at least he does a video update every day.
Yeah, John Sweeney might not be Ukrainian, but he has been there from like day one.
Yes. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay, we're good. Okay, good. Yeah, he's been there. But then I'd also recommend, I mean, if you don't have Operator Starsky, like if YouTubers, Rick the Ukrainian, he does Sunday streams, talks about what's going on, and also has connections to many fundraisers and people really connected at the front lines. I mean, yeah, you start there, and then Rick is a great Rick the Ukrainian will link you with whoever you need on the ground here in Ukraine, connected with Ukrainian grassroots organizations.
Yeah. A quick answer to NGC7603B. He's asking when will be the next Rammstein meeting. It was a couple of days ago. that's the short answer. It's just passed. Yes, the Rammstein meeting just ended. When was it Austin? Was it Austin that came to Ukraine? I believe Austin or Millie. I always mix them up.
Austin.
Lloyd Austin. Yeah. So he came specifically for the Rammstein meeting stuff. So that was when the meeting was. Wow. They got certain packages for Ukraine, but nothing major, unfortunately. Another quick answer. Alethina, a couple of EU stuff, sorry. Would like to hear your take on the situation on the Ukrainian border with the Polish truckers blockade. So it's internal Polish politics. Poland right now is an internal transition of power because the PiS party has technically won the election. By Polish constitution, it's the same procedure in Latvia, that the procedure requires president to assign the party that got the most votes to enter for 2 weeks in a position where they will try to form a government. So they can reach out to other countries, negotiate, make a coalition, and if there is a coalition, then there is a government. Right now, the PiS, it cannot find any parties that would support her, so they cannot make government right now. So instead, they're just waiting out these 2 weeks until president will then move hand it over to the next party that won this election, the next biggest scoring party. So what right now PiS is doing, that are currently technically ruling the government then and in Poland, is they're seeing that there is a blockade for Ukrainian parties, and they're amplifying the message to make sure that when the next government of the opposition comes into power, that they get instantly some kind of problem on their hand that is unsolved and that potentially can put them in bad light. So they're playing internal politics. That's why they're not interested in solving it right now. Sorry, just a quick detour to Poland. I just needed to say that. But have you encountered?
Yeah, we got to go. We didn't see it at the crossing that we went through. It was pretty smooth, but the other crossings to the north and to the south of where we went through, yeah, they're only allowing like a certain amount of trucks through every hour. And all I can say is that it's rising tensions here with Ukrainians. They're growing more and more upset about it. Like they were understanding at first because I mean Ukrainians are understanding, and then now it's becoming like I mean there was one of the truckers, Ukrainian truckers died, I believe, last week. Reports came in like trying to get through and didn't make it. So it's just it's not a good situation right now to have that.
Nice. Alan Doherty, sorry, asks why Ukraine is not asking for Apache helicopters. What do you think, Andrew?
Because they don't have the jet superiority to support that. Like when you have helicopters, you kind of need like all air power to support it, and Ukraine just doesn't. So I mean they could use maybe an Apache for air defense or like defense of a city or something, but offensively it would probably just be shot down right now. I mean it's for both sides for the air defenses for shooting aircraft down. So
yeah,
that won't be the best move right now.
Yes. Okay, couple super chats. Marco, thank you so much for 50 euros. Appreciate it. OCT, thank you so much. Robert H, welcome to Brother in Arms. Bob, welcome to Brother in Arms. Tridents Against Tyrants, thank you so much for $2. Andrew, missed you before on the shills. Good work. I guess
thank you so much.
Good work on missing you. Nice. Crixus, hello. When Ukraine receives F-16 aircrafts, how will they affect the war, do you think?
When they're gonna likely use them more so for defensive purposes to start, and then hopefully if more of the coalition can send jets, I think Denmark might be sending more to Ukraine. And maybe US can send more, even more, but the first batch will be used for air defensive purposes. And then if Ukraine can get more and then start dominating skies, they can start using them offensively. But like I said, it's just between both Russian and Ukrainian forces, they have good air defense. So using air power is just not good for either side right now. But if Ukraine can get the advantage, then we can see.
Yeah, I definitely think that it would be naive to think that Ukraine would instantly get some kind of air advantage once the F-16s arrive. You should probably think more of they're going to be used about how special forces are right now used on the front line. So there will be special operations that Ukraine is going to execute. I think bulk of, well, first batch that's going to arrive is going to be used for air defense, as Andrew said. So intercepting missiles, protecting against planes and drop bombs. But then there's going to be a couple of them that's going to be used in special strike groups where they're going to use them to make specific strikes on key targets. Probably they will try to disable even more anti-air systems. So I would feel that the Air Force first and foremost are going to be fighting other Air Force and anti-Air Force and not really the troops on the ground. So it's not going to impact the situation on the ground right from the get-go. Tridents Against Tyrants, thanks so much for $10. Hey Andrew, I'm aware that you were traveling. Just wanted to ask if you got the Avdiivka drone fundraiser email he sent to you. I also asked Georgie's earlier. No rush, just checking in for you received. So I guess Tridents Against Tyrants. Oh, it's the Secular Sikai. Oh, right. That's his stuff. Yeah. Have you got a message from Secular Sikai or Tridents Against Tyrants?
I'll have to look. I can check my email. I'll check it probably in the morning so I can go through all of it in case it went to spam by accident or something. But yeah, I'll check tomorrow on that. But yeah. I don't think I have.
Yeah. Yeah, Secular, I'll check on it. Worst case scenario, I will just forward my email that I got from you to Andrew, so he makes sure that he receives it.
Yeah, that works.
T5 Ruxley, thank you so much for 100 Canadian. Appreciate it. Benjamin, thank you so much for 5 members. Karen, welcome to the Brother in Arms. Captain Copenhagen, go Asirai. Nice. Love to Andrew from Denmark. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. That was the super chats. Let's go. There was the Apache helicopters questions, and then Brian P., thank you so much for all the time you put into these reports. You're truly an asset to Ukraine. I would like to know more about our opposition, specifically Hungary's Viktor Orban and Turkey's Ord. I would guess that's the Turkey's... wait, isn't Orban the president of Turkey?
Oh, Hungary. Oh.
American joke.
I get it. I got it. I got it.
Yes. Yeah, Erdogan in Turkey, obviously. But I don't know. Do you want to take one? I take the other.
I'll see your perspective on both. My brain's a little shut down on that area of the world right now. So I feel like
you said you didn't get a lot of sleep, so maybe we're gonna wrap this up soon. But yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, Orban is like a super grifter. He's been going against the EU. It's because he has his popularity dependent on his opposition to EU. He has been spreading propaganda for a very long time that EU is after Hungary and that he is there like a proper dictator. You know, it's like we are in a fortress and everyone is trying to get us. That's the same rhetoric that's pretty much every dictator in the world has said ever. Putin is no other, Orban is no other. And he is really pretty much playing on that. He's saying, oh, I only know the way, and Russia is our friend because Russia also is like the same as us. So they just want to protect Russia, and we just need to stick with us, and we can easily deal with them. If you trust me, I will deal with us, and it works. Like, you know, it just works with this. He's not a friend of democracy. He's not a friend of EU. My position on it is that until Hungary comes back to the fundamental rules of the EU, we should not deal with that country, period. And that goes for the same democracies. I have a very strong attitude to dictators in the world. I don't think we need to interact with dictators because they're leeching off of democracies. They are exploiting democracies. They're exploiting our societies, and they're leeching on our free economies to make themselves wealthy and denying wealth to their people. So Hungary is becoming rich because of they are having open market and so on. What I believe democracies should do is they need to have poison apple to dictators. A good example would be China. China wants to deal with our markets. Great. You want to deal with our markets? You allow free access to information. Right now, there is no free information in China, so no deal with our markets. Same, for example, for Russia. Right now, right in Russia, like the shitter is banned or Facebook is banned. Why are there Russian officials on the Facebook? I don't know. I don't think they should be there. So that's kind of my attitude. I don't feel that we need to deal with dictators. I feel that democracies needs to stick together, and that goes the same kind of for Erdogan. Though Erdogan right now is in a difficult situation because while in Hungary they're still very closely leeching off of European open markets, so they're economically stable. In Turkey right now they're having issue that because of the smooth brain of Erdogan that completely put their economy into dog shit. Right now they're struggling to maintain it, and he needs to play ball sometimes with the democracies around him, and he cannot go full on mad bro. That's the unfortunate part for him.
Exactly. The other thing too, the one thing I do know about Hungary, specifically when it comes to Americans, is the MAGA side of the conservatives and CPAC now, which I guess is MAGA, but it's conservative PAC. They have been hosting events in Hungary and have been very pro Orban. And like when you watch, like I recommend if you have time on YouTube chat, look up Klepper's video. He's a Comedy Central guy, and he went to Hungary's CPAC event that the U.S. conservatives went there, and like they talked to pro Orban Hungarian citizens, and they're literally just like MAGA conservatives, but in Hungary. It's scary. So that's what I do know about that when it comes to America, when it comes to Americans. And the fact that side of our politics is simping for such a a dictatorship, and the type of policies Orban has and the type of person he is not good.
Yeah. Well, Merck, the last question is going to be for me. Let's take the second to last because I've been running for 2 hours already, and I'm going to be slowly wrapping up. There was a question. There was a question actually that came in on your stream with Starsky that I watched, and you mentioned that the discussion that Abrams. Why is Ukraine not using American Abrams? And right as we were speaking on Shitter, there appeared news with photos of U.S. Abrams specifically operating in Ukraine. By the look of it, and I'm right now on my stream right now. So by the look of it, this can be like it's a sandy ground. So most likely this is northern part of Ukraine. So this can be either on some kind of training ground in Ukraine, or this can be in the northeastern part, so around Kremena, because like this is definitely not south. The pine forests and everything. This is not the southern Ukraine for sure. So that's very interesting. So here we see the M1A1 Abrams, at least his backside.
Wow!
And this is
breaking on Ukraine Matters stream right here. There's the first image of the M1A1.
Yeah, I saw it on Shitter myself. That's
wow, bro. Yeah, because I don't know, we didn't see. Did this just get posted like a few hours ago? Or like
yeah. It's just recently picked up. So
nice.
Yes. Thank you so much for dropping in. I will answer last question, I guess, already off because it's a little bit. But thank you, and we're gonna do a more proper stream sometime later on for sure. Thank you, Andrew. Absolutely. Any last words?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you to the Ukraine Matters community for being so supportive. I see many in the chat that support many channels, including mine and others. So thank you for all that. And keep up the good work.
Absolutely. See you, Andrew.
Slava Ukraine. Have a good night.
Heroям Slava. Bye-bye. All right, last question. Very, very important one. And then we're going to wrap up, guys. Ali is asking, can you close us by telling your hair care regime? Do you use products to make it so pretty? Love you, G. Okay, hair care routine. So I'm a dude. So I have 9-in-1 shampoo. It's a shampoo together with it's like a low shelf shampoo. It costs about $1.50, and I don't even remember the name. I think it's like Normal or some shit like that. So it's like a 8-in-1 or 9-in-1, something like this. It's a shampoo, conditioner, stuff like that. Good thing. Recommend to everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I certainly did. Video is coming tomorrow. Slava Ukraini. Support Ukraine. Support everyone that supports Ukraine. Keep strong. We're going to get through it. We're going to talk more. Follow our Discord where we do the updates. I love you all. I'll see you next time.